music fills the air, echoing through the night.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to O.C.S.T.
Third rendition of Bigfoot. Bigfoot and stuff.
Of Bigfoot and stuff. Welcome, everybody.
Oh
Hope
my
you're having a
goodness.
good time.
All right. I want to remind everyone, this is the next to last episode of O.C.S.T. Bigfoot and stuff before Mogs and Stevie B come back with WTF, Mogi on Monster. They will be back on Tuesday, December 16th.
A week from today.
So after that, we will be switching immediately on that Wednesday night. After, we will be starting our once a week shows, live shows in between WTF's nights on 8 o'clock Central every Wednesday.
Hi, Ramona. Hi, Scott. Hi, Gary.
Tansi, Ramona.
Hi, Connor. Hi, Jim. Hi, Sharon.
We had Scott B in the chat first tonight. Hi, Scott. Hope you're doing well. Gary Spikes. Good to see you back. We got you up as a mod now, Gary. So,
Yay.
I want to thank every single one of our mods for doing a great job so far. And we have Sharon with 2 R's. Good to see you, Sharon. And of course, y'all saw Connor Johnson. Let's see. Who else?
Jim, yay.
Oh, yeah. Jim. Good to see you, Jim. Jim's camera at dawn. It's good to see you in here again, as always. And then, of course, we have Elder Medicine Bear Claw, Ramona. Good to see you also. I hope you're doing well. And Blazer.
Hey, Blazer.
Blazer's in the chat. Good to see you, Blazer.
How's the weather in Montana? Hey, Chance.
Hey, Chance. Got the nostalgic pod blast in here. It's good to see you. Let's see. That's everybody for right now.
Snow. You can keep it up there, okay, my friend?
Yeah.
We don't want that here.
I'm going to post link so y'all can
Link it up. Ooh, link it up.
y'all can click on the link and come in here in the studio and join us if you feel up to it. Get those butterflies out of your stomach. Believe me, it's not that bad once you get up here.
Butterflies are in my stomach all the time.
You're talking to friends. It's like talking to friends and family. So
You have to share. No, you don't, Blazer. Please keep the snow where it's at. Up
No.
there? No, we don't want snow.
I just want to
Actually,
skiff.
He wants snow so he can catch the big footprints.
Yep.
I don't want snow because I have to drive in it. It's not fun.
Yeah. It can be fun.
I mean, I could go do circles, donuts in the parking lots, and no.
Is it cold up there as it is down here? Gary Spikes asks. It's what, 30?
Hang on, I'll tell you. Right now,
It's not as windy as it was earlier, so that helps.
it's 34 degrees, but it feels like 28 above.
Yeah. So how cold is it there?
Blazer, we're colder than you are? What?
39.
No.
Is it windy?
What's the feel like temperature in Montana?
I heard somewhere that they're doing away with the feels like temperature.
It's called a wind chill.
Mm-hmm.
With a foot and a half of partly cloudy on the yeah.
Partly cloudy on the driveway.
34 here also.
Don't you hate it when somebody just dumps stuff in your driveway?
Right now it's leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
34 here also, Gary says. Yeah.
40 degrees in Kentucky.
40 degrees.
Feels like 78 below. Cheapers, creepers, that's
I
cool.
don't want the negative temperatures. No.
No.
I hated living in that. No.
I'm curious. I'm curious now. And where I used to live in Minnesota, it's 11 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'll take the 34 or whatever I just said.
Yeah, no negatives, like Connor says. No negatives.
No negatives.
Yeah, we don't need that.
No.
Yeah. Okay, throughout the live tonight, if y'all see my elbow,
I punched him.
yeah, right. No, I have bursitis. It's been flaring up on me because of the change in weather.
Well, they can keep the minus 50 in Canada. Holy manoli. No.
37 Blackfeet Mountains. Ooh, that's cold. That mountain air, that would feel even worse. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, CJ.
Oh.
For those who don't know, CJ is Connor is our son. And then Cammy sometimes pops in. She's my daughter. And then Colton sometimes pops on, and he's my son-in-law. So it's all one big happy family. Hey, Arcane, how are you?
Good to see you.
Hi guys, it's just me. That's
Thanks. My arm will be all right.
it was like
Hi, Jesse. I guess it's. Should I call you Jesse or Arcane?
Heard about Edwards Canada.
Edwards Canada's? Edwards Canada's? Okay.
Let's see.
So what did you guys do today?
Who was that masked man? Yeah.
Call her silly? Oh my gosh. No, I am not calling her silly. Scott. No. I don't know her that well. Can't call her that way. Tell you to know her.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell y'all. I had a interview with a Cryptids channel. They requested through Long Island Bigfoot that they wanted to interview me and for me to tell about my story. So as soon as I get the link for that, I'm going to be posting it on my social medias. But yeah, the interview went well. Just tell them about my boring old life.
I had to work.
No,
So
I told about my cryptid experiences. There's one thing I want to do on our first episode on Wednesday night. Thank you, Ramona. Thank you, Blazer.
I don't want to butcher the name. Is it Luana? I hope I said that. Hi.
Luana M.
Luana. I think that's how you say it.
Nice to meet you. Good to see you in here. As I was saying, on the first episode on the Wednesday, not this coming Wednesday, but the next,
The 18th, right?
yeah, on the 18th, I will, for those that don't know, my backstory on my cryptid research, I will be telling my story to begin with, because I've shared it out to other researchers and YouTubers, but I've never actually sat down and given my own rendition on my own channel. So I'll be doing that. Oh yeah, Luana,
Okay.
moderator for Abnormal Investigations.
Well, we're glad that you're here.
Yes, very glad to see you in here. I gotta look over some of my banners. So
Yeah, you do that. Hey, I wanted to tell Sharon, Sharon, that's so cool. You're getting new furniture. I wish I was getting new furniture. I need a new couch so bad. This thing that we're sitting on is so uncomfortable. In time, I promise, in time. But anyway.
yeah, I stood up for my whole interview today because he said no noise. So okay, I'll just stand in place, and
it was no noise and no cigarettes and no music, no.
Yep.
Man, yeah. I was in the living room working when that all happened, so I'm actually kind of glad to be done with work today. It was kind of a stressful day.
Oh yeah.
And no, we didn't go fishing because we don't live next to a lake, like Moggs and Stevie B, or an
Yeah.
ocean. So
I live a mile and a half away from a river, and it's
No
too
fishing.
cold to fish on a river right now.
and no ice fishing either, Blazer. I know. I'm about to imagine what you're thinking. I can't see Chet though.
Yeah.
Do to me. It has taken me nearly 16 years to convince my husband that we needed new ones. It's not going to take me that long to convince him that we need new furniture. Hopefully, tax time.
I'm already convinced. I feel it too. Let's see.
Wait, what did come to Montana? What did you say, Blazer? Come to Montana and what?
He's got some couches.
Oh, that's a long way. That's like 18 hours. No, even though I'd love to come see the mountains.
Yeah.
Hey, Goodens, how are you?
Good to see you, Goodens Auto.
You miss ice fishing, Ramona? I actually have never been ice fishing. I lived in Minnesota for 21 years and never went ice fishing. Hi, Randy. I see you.
Hey, Randy. Good to see you.
I didn't know that. You're from Montana? The old ones are going. Oh, that's nice. I hope that whomever gets your furniture, Sharon, gets really good use out of it. That's awesome. It's always good to give back. We're actually going to donate a lot of our clothes that don't fit us anymore. We're going to donate them to Sister's Closet in Crescent. Yes, I know. With all those lakes, Ramona, I never went ice fishing. I don't like to be cold.
Thanks for subscribing, Luana.
Yeah, thank you. That's awesome.
Let's see, I'll run that one again.
They're like new.
They're like new. Cool.
You have to have a real ice hole to. I can't see what he's saying. Real ice hole to like ice fishing.
Yeah.
The what? What box? The Christmas tree box is out in the shed.
No, I ain't going out there. I can close.
What are you looking for?
I need a bag.
All the. Did I put all the bags in? I didn't put all the bags. They're over there.
That one right there.
Sorry, we're in the middle of doing Christmas wrapping too, so it's all right. Say hi, Colton.
What's up, folks?
My son-in-law. Hi, Sharon Guy.
Hey, Sharon. Good to see you in here. How you been?
We're talking about never being ice fishing and new furniture and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
How was your day? How's your granddaughter? Sharon Guy.
Y'all don't forget, you can jump up here with us and talk on camera if you want. I just posted the link in the chat. It'd be good to see a face along with those names and the words in the chat.
Yeah, Blazer. Yeah, Jim. Wherever you went, I know you're in there.
Yeah.
Oh.
This week has been kind of slow. Of course, no getting out in that cold, except for grocery shopping.
What are you talking about? I drove to work yesterday in the drizzle and the
Yeah, I
stuff.
didn't.
Love you. I nominate Sharon. Whoever comes up, we'd just be glad to see you. We are doing good. Oh
Goodness.
my goodness, ow. She's doing better and back to school. That's awesome. That is so good. I am so happy and glad to hear that, Sharon.
That's great to hear.
That disease is not fun, but I am so glad that she's on the mend, doing well.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
If y'all end up hearing dogs bark, it's
I'm
'cause
sorry.
we got the dogs here in the living room. It's where they stay in their kennels.
What else have you guys been up to? You're welcome, Sharon.
Yeah, you're welcome, Sharon.
Hey, Randy, I know you're still up there, hopefully. What part of Montana? Because I didn't know that. This isn't cold. I know, right? Did you find the tape?
Yeah.
Colton. Okay. Expecting
I
a
had-
call, lurking,
Vermont.
and
I had that.
supposed-
And I had, of course,
support until then. Okay, Jim.
it was a phone interview that I had earlier. So it's one of those channels where he does interviews with people over the phone.
Great Falls. I'm trying to think where exactly in Montana that's at. I don't remember. Never been to Montana. One day, because I'm going to the mountains. Those mountains.
It's one of the very few states that I haven't been in that region of the country.
Okay, so it's like right in the middle of Montana? If I'm looking at that right? It's just like I lived in Minnesota for 20 years and never went to Canada. Was within a mile of it. I can't. I'm actually a
I'm actually a cat,
cat that
types.
types. Meow. Wait, Feisty's not in here.
Well, it just says I'm in Polston.
Paulson? Paulson?
Polson.
However you say that. What did come to Belgium? Weird stuff in the forest to best and things. Okay, I can't explain. Glacier Park is.
Randy says Glacier Park is heaven to me. My heaven was the Wichita Mountain Wildlife Refuge for the longest time. That place is
Still
beautiful.
is.
Yeah, it's getting all burned up now, though.
Yeah, well, you have to burn it up a little bit to make it still beautiful.
I seriously think that the cryptids that are down there in that park, they left for a while and came back. So they're gonna leave again because of all the fires. Eventually they'll probably get tired of going back and forth because that place just keeps catching on fire every summer. They can come up this way.
I had an interview. Ramona said I had an interview with this podcast. That's how I got my name, Elder Medicine Bear Claw. That's cool.
Oh yeah, cool.
That is so neat.
Yeah, that's
Bigfoot are still here. I hear them every night. That's so. What part? Okay, I was trying to find where you were kind of located there, Blazer. It's hard to tell on my map thingy. Are you closer to Canada?
Randy says that's why I love the outdoors. The wildlife refuge is amazing as well.
Yes. Bottom of the Flathead Lake. That helps me.
Bottom of Flathead Lake. Yeah.
Oh, I found you. That was fun.
Little Medicine Bear Claw says I explained to them how
I'm an elder.
and I'm older.
Everyone, please keep CBB in y'all's prayers. She's okay, but got hit in the head. What?
Oh, goodness. Yeah, everybody.
Oh,
Your
my
prayers
goodness.
for Stevie B.
Prayers to CBB, most definitely. I'm glad she's okay, but this is going to be a very interesting conversation when they come back. Bring on Jesse.
All right.
Sorry.
We've got Jess coming up in the chat.
Hi, Jess.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good. How are you? Yay.
I'm
you
doing
made it.
good.
This is so much fun.
Yeah. So I figured I didn't see anybody popping in, so I figured, oh, why not? What the heck? So
Yeah, it's good to see you in here.
I saw you on AB or AI's live the other night.
yeah. So yeah, I fill in co-hosts every once in a while. I guess a little bit more now since Sarah hasn't been feeling too well and she's been busy with other stuff. So yeah, fill it in and doing my own thing as well. Doing my investigations. Every Friday night I do my boots on the ground investigations.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
And doing a few other things. I was just out investigating a few weeks back Bray Road because I'm here in Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah.
So I was out at Bray Road. That was interesting. But yeah.
Is it cold up there?
It is super cold. We're getting a cold front in today and Thursday. So it's supposed to be like 14 degrees it's supposed to jump down to.
Please keep it there.
Well, and then Friday when I go out, we're supposed to get like 3 inches of snow. So I'll be out in snowstorm Friday night.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then Saturday, I'm going pheasant hunting, and it's supposed to be back up to like 40 degrees. So,
Nice. It's like this, and then you're going to get sick. And yeah, I remember that all too well as well.
yeah. Gotta love Wisconsin weather, though. Just wait 5 minutes, it'll change.
Sharon says, car trunk came down and hit Stevie B in the head.
Ow.
Ouch.
Hi, John. John, your brother. Thank you. Mm.
So, how was your day otherwise? Oh, you said you had the interview today? Was that
Yeah.
today that you had?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I had, I don't have the name of it right in front of me, but I'll be talking more about it when we start our Wednesday night show.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was at work.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I had work today too, but they cut out early. We had our holiday party today, which was nice.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Brand new company I started working for about 4 weeks ago now.
Okay.
And I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. People there are so great. So can't complain at all.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I actually work from home most days. So I was sitting in the living room when he had his interview,
Okay.
working on my computers.
Yeah. When the guy says, make sure it's very quiet in your house, I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, that would never work in my house, even on quiet days. I have 2 cats, and if it's too quiet, they're chasing each other and knocking stuff over. And
Well, we have, was it 3 dogs?
3 dogs.
3 dogs in this house.
Mhm.
Oh,
So
wow.
to try to keep them quiet, well, yeah, it was really hard.
What kind of dogs do you have?
We have sisters that are Black Lab, Husky, and German Shepherd, and then my daughter and son-in-law have a Blue Heeler, Great Pyrenees.
Oh my gosh.
So, Sassy is Cammy and Colton's, and Storm is ours, but they're sisters.
Yeah.
Okay.
They look exactly the same. I think one spot is in the front is a little bit wider on one of them, and Sassy looks more husky than anything else.
They're both coal black, but they have what resembles a white tie on their their chest,
like a diamond.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love huskies. I always said
Me too.
If I ever get a dog, though, I want what do they call them? The Pomskis, the Pomeranian huskies.
Oh, yeah.
Those are so cute.
They're really high maintenance, though.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't have any. My daughter's moved out, so I can afford to do the high maintenance of a.
The reason I say that is because of the grooming. They had the hair of a Pomeranian, but they had the shedding of a husky. So just giving you a little heads up on that.
Double whammy.
Right.
I just wanted to mention my brother John is in the chat, so everybody give him a shout out.
Hi, John.
Hello, John.
Good to see you, John.
And she still isn't quiet. They have one dog, and she's not quiet.
He said she's a dog woman, not a dog man.
Oh my God.
Terry, his wife. Yeah.
Or dog man. Haha. Cryptid. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you could say, well, what kind of work do you do, Besides the paranormal?
So my paying job, I actually work in construction. So I work for a company that does national retail construction projects.
Okay.
So pretty much if they're anything from like Victoria's Secrets to Barnes and Noble to I don't know, name it. Whatever store. Well, there you go. Yeah, so any type of stores and other shopping centers, stuff like that. Any type of retail stores, yeah.
That's cool.
That's cool.
So it's fun. keeps you on your toes. So
I
never a
bet.
dull moment.
I bet.
But yeah, so then yeah, when I get home, then I do other research. So I very rarely get much sleep either.
Sleep
Yeah.
is a good thing. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it can be. I think by the time I actually do fall asleep, it's kind of one of those like my head hits the pillow and I don't even think about it anymore. It's just I'm out.
Right?
I'm just so exhausted.
That was it Saturday night into Sunday morning? We attempted to go to the Christmas parade in Crescent and then go grocery shopping and Christmas shopping afterwards. We got the grocery shopping part done. It was midnight before we got home, and
Oh my
I
God.
was like, no.
Eat, huh? Yeah.
I was so tired. It took me a day and a half to get
Yeah.
not tired.
Yeah.
I was still tired by the time we did the live on Tuesday.
Yeah,
Last Tuesday. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah. When I was younger, I was working. I mean, there were times where I was working like 3 jobs. And thinking back now, I'm going, how in the world did I do that? And yet, now that I'm older, I'm still pushing myself to the point where I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? But, you know, I do my pay job and that's good. But then the paranormal and cryptid stuff, it's just fun. I'm
I like
enjoying it.
paranormal. Well, I like both parts too, but I would prefer to do the paranormal over
Yeah.
the cryptid. But
mhm.
I mean, we do both, but
Yeah.
paranormal would be fun.
I want to get into researching the paranormal a little bit more. I have somebody in this area that's wanting to take me into some of the old town buildings in town. So
Yeah. See,
I'm
that
looking forward to that.
that's the interesting stuff. I love history. I love I always say my daughter makes fun of me because I always say, I can go into an old town because I used to live in Arizona too, which was really kind of cool. You could go through those old towns and you could just almost feel what it was like looking at the old buildings
Mhm.
and what it would have been like to walk down those streets and the gunslingers and
Oh,
You
yeah.
need to come to Oklahoma. There's a town
Yeah.
in Oklahoma. It's called Guthrie,
Hmm.
and if you Google it, you'll find that there's a lot of historical, haunted, I guess you want to call it, houses and
Yeah,
places.
they have an old hotel that's supposed to be one of the haunted places in the United States. So,
I hear that so often. Wait, is that the Crescent Hotel?
No,
No.
it's
Oh,
the
okay.
Stone Lion in
Yeah.
Guthrie.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
Because I always hear you always hear oh yeah, it's the most haunted hotel, and I think there's like the most haunted hotels in every state. There's another the
yeah,
most haunted hotel, but there's definitely a lot of old, very
Mhm.
active
active.
places,
Yep.
very active places, and yeah,
Yeah,
and
and they have a really old Masonic temple. It's huge. It's a huge building.
oh yeah,
Yeah, it's supposed to be
yeah.
haunted.
The Dominion House.
Yeah, the Dominion House. Yeah,
I think I've heard of the Dominion House, or
yeah.
is that or is that more of a like the Masonic Temple,
Nope.
Dominion House? No,
Dominion
Dominion
House was
House
an
is
orphanage at one time, and
Yeah.
there was
okay.
a really not so good person there, and yeah,
Yeah.
you would have to Google it because it's out there. Believe me.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another research project for me.
Yeah. Well, if you have time, but that's where. I mean, I got to drive him next to it or by it, so
Yeah.
it's not that far from our house. So he was like, "Oh yeah, you can tell. You can just feel it,
Yeah.
feel the presence or
Yeah.
the energy, I guess you can call
Yeah. That's I think that's what because I've had paranormal experiences ever since I can remember going back when I was a kid and the paranormal spiritual side of things has always interested me. And it's funny how I actually got into the cryptid side of things
Hmm.
because I was working, there was a place that I was working at in about an hour and a half north of where I live. I would drive an hour and a half every day to work.
Oh, yeah.
But I ended up working with a woman who her nephew was one of the boys who actually was in Dave Paulides' book, Missing 411. He was one of the boys that had passed away in La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Oh, wow.
And so I started kind of like delving into that. And that's when I got into Dave Paulides. And then from there, I ended up getting into like Steve Isdall. And then I found Mike's channel. And then I just went down that rabbit hole. And I've been kind of hooked on the cryptid side of things since. And I've been finding there's so many connections between paranormal, the cryptids, the aliens, and
Oh, yeah.
I've been just working on that. That's
I'm sorry. Do you know, do you follow MT Paranormal Talk? Mike Acosta?
No, I'm not familiar.
Ohio? You might want to check him out. He's really good at that too. MT Paranormal Talk.
Okay, yeah, definitely. I'm always up for other people to listen to and learn from, and yeah, it's always interesting. Yeah, actually going to write that down so I don't forget, because otherwise, yeah, I will definitely forget.
He's been taking a little hiatus, but he said he's going to get back into it. But every show that he has is very interesting. He's always making some kind of contact.
You said MT
Paranormal Talk.
It's MT Paranormal Life.
Oh, is it live now? Okay, I'm sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
I'm glad I asked then. Okay, definitely.
Mike Acosta.
Yeah, he does a lot of collabs with the cameraman Jack Riggs. They're based in Ohio.
Okay.
So,
yeah, that's really close to me. So
yeah,
cool. Yeah.
They were some of the first ones that I started watching before I started doing the YouTube thing. Yeah.
How long? Because I've only just recently started watching you guys a little bit more. How long have you actually been in doing the cryptid research?
I started back in 2020.
Before
I actually started research before I started doing camera work and stuff. I was doing research in 2020, but then I started my channel in mid to late 2021. I believe.
I don't know.
Well, it was the winter before me and you.
We met in August of 22.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I came along with the ride here.
I did catch that part in one of the other lives that I was watching you guys on. Yeah,
I was one of the biggest skeptics ever. I actually still am. Besides John, I think he's more of a skeptic than I am. But anyway, I mean, I believe that the Bigfoot are out there. I just never would, I guess, go out, look for them, or go out and search for them or whatever. So, but now that I call it recreation. I can't even say it. Recreational companionship.
There we go. Okay.
So, when he wants to go out, of course I'm going to go out to support him and to see if I can't see something or hear something or find something or. So it's fun that, and it's closer to God and outside, and so
I love that for you guys. That's awesome. Yeah. I was telling Scott the other day because he had said something about me going out in the woods by myself, and I said, honestly, I almost feel energized, even though it's on Friday nights when I go out. Even though it's late and I've already spent a whole day at work, I feel so energized and so much better after spending that time out in nature. Whether I catch anything or not, it's just
right.
it feels so good to be out there.
Right.
Yeah.
I love it.
Hi, Michelle. I see you.
Well, with me, it doesn't matter if I see anything or not. If I see anything visual, it doesn't matter because I also get what they call touched. So
Okay.
if I'm out in the woods, even sitting here at home, because we have a Bigfoot that likes to hang out in the backyard.
Oh wow.
Um, I'll feel it when it's around. So that's what I get when I go out doing my research. I'll be out in an area and I'll feel it. And 9 times out of 10, there's something there. Like the first time I took her out in the woods, she wasn't expecting to see anything, and we went into the parallel forest down there in Lawton, in the wildlife refuge, and not, but what, 10 minutes into it,
Something like that.
I'm around taking pictures out behind her and all that, and she's off just, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 feet, and then she's like, hey babe, take pictures over there. Right, so I pan the camera over there and I zoom in and I take a picture, and then I switch to my phone and I take a video. Well, couldn't check the video out right away. We had to wait till we got home. But when I got home, I played the video, and sure enough, right where she pointed, there was a gray Bigfoot, probably about 7.5 feet tall, maybe 8, probably about 40, 45 yards behind some trees. And it was standing looking in her direction, and then it turns at me when I start taking the pictures, and then as soon as I start moving off in the direction I was going, it went the same direction.
Oh.
So I got it on film. You could see the top of the head behind all these limbs, and you can see it turn. He turns his head and he looks at her first, and then he looks at me, and then he turns his body and starts walking the same direction I did.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So
she had an experience, but she didn't have a sighting. So, one step at a time.
So that you didn't actually see it when
No.
you just said you just felt like there was something over there, and
yeah.
And the thing is that and when I go out, I guess in the anywhere, I talk to God and the forest, and we're not going to hurt anything. We're not going to touch anything, to let whatever's out there know that we're not going to harm anything. And then I was just talking and whatever, and I turned around and I was like, babe, you should take pictures over there. It felt weird. Not really weird, but it felt off. The feeling, the pressure, it was just a little bit of weird feeling.
Yeah.
And then it was.
And then the most recent one that we had out in that wildlife refuge, one of the last ones we had before I moved up here, we were heading towards the Sharon Garden area, which is on the back side of Elk Mountain out in the refuge. We were going on the trailhead heading towards the main entrance of the Sharon Garden, and we get to this one point that's got a set of trees on this side and a set of trees on this side, and they look almost identical in height and what kind of trees they are, and then the space on the ground in between those trees where it's bare is just bare ground. I was on the left side, and I was taking pictures because something laid there, so I was taking pictures of the markings that it left. And as soon as I'm taking those pictures, she mentions to me, she says, hey, take pictures of this over here. Well, this other clearing with those 2 trees was a little bit further off the path, It was in between the fire trail and the main trail,
Mm-hmm.
and it was about 15 feet from the main trail. So I zoom in and I snapped a picture, and that picture, immediately I checked it on my camera. There was a Bigfoot leaning up against a tree. It was, I believe that it was a day watcher that was waking up from a nap,
Okay.
that it accidentally fell asleep and was waking up from a nap, because I caught it when it's just opening its eyes.
Okay. Okay. So now I got to ask, you say a day watcher.
Yeah.
So I haven't heard that. So is that as opposed to the ones that are out at night, I'm assuming? And are they just watching the territory, like
Yeah.
guarding?
Yeah, it's like they'll appoint one to keep watch while the rest of the clan is resting during the day. So
Okay.
one will go out, one or two will go out, and they'll keep watch so that everyone else can rest.
Not unless it was just waking up from its nap because it was almost dusk.
Yeah,
too.
that too.
But
Oh,
But it'd be kind of weird for it to be sleeping right there where people walk on a regular basis. You know, it'd be weird for it to actually want to sleep there. So I was thinking probably fell asleep being a day watcher. That's what I get from it.
okay, so John asks, so when do you go up? Okay. When you do a live in the forest, be sure to turn on the camera to do the nature call.
Yeah, that's my brother.
Sorry. Okay, John. Or that, or turn off the camera when you fall in the mud.
yeah.
I did.
Well,
The day that we were out of the parallel forest,
Luckily-
it just rained earlier that day, and it was slippery, and I didn't have the right shoes on, which, note to self, now I have hiking boots. But I slid in the mud, and I am so thankful he didn't catch it on camera.
yeah, I turned my camera off just before that.
Yeah. See, my luck, I'm always caught, you know. I always fall or trip or do something stupid, and I look around, and sure enough, fall on my face, walk into a tree. Yeah, there's always somebody that sees it or catches it on camera.
I have, okay, don't take this the wrong way. I'm not a small person. I'm a bigger girl. So I was just about ready to say, if the tree falls in a forest, does it make a noise? Yes. It says, ow! Me. Sorry. I'm trying to make y'all laugh. I hope you guys are enjoying this craziness. Okay, John, you need to stop, you goon.
Yeah, I was joking, and one day with Christy here, and I had hiked up my pants up to my sweatpants up to my chest, and I posed.
Okay, you guys know what the old grandpa and up looks like? So I'm just saying it was hilarious.
Yeah, so now my brother doesn't let that one go.
So did you at least get a picture? You could like make an ornament out of it, put it on a tree.
I should.
Or,
You know what? I should. No, what I really need to do is make a plaque of it and give it to him for Christmas. That's
there you go.
No. And then if I get that done, I'll just post it on my CRJ design so everybody can see.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Kidding. Just kidding.
No, she's not.
No, she's not. I know she's not.
I dare you to do that on a live. He just dared you, babe.
No, no, I won't do that.
I triple dog dare.
Oh my goodness, they're triple.
I would lose all my viewers.
We would I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say.
John says, please don't encourage him.
Oh my goodness.
So, any new places that you guys are planning on going out to anytime soon?
I really so where we live, the Cimarron River doesn't flow too far from our house. We're like a mile, or about a mile and a half from the river. And then on the bridge that's right by the river, it's like a sandy, because the river is not very high at most times. And he really wants to go check out and see if there's any prints down there, because the Bigfoot are known in this area to be right around the river.
Yeah.
But I want to go just west of my house. There's a cemetery that's, I don't know, to me it's you can feel, obviously the presence of the spirits that are there, but that whole road west of my house is just so we want to go check it out. And more depth.
Yeah. We went to a cemetery a couple miles away from here, which actually is connected to my research down there in Lawton. They have the Wolf Creek, and I did a couple of videos about how Wolf Creek extends all the way down to the Red River.
Okay.
And then it goes a long ways up north here in Oklahoma. So I was able to get some footage there. Of course, there wasn't anything on the outskirts of the cemetery there, but there's a lot more to investigate, because there's supposed to be a bridge. I haven't gone to it yet. There's supposed to be a bridge on that creek that had a recent sighting of Bigfoot.
Oh,
So I
okay.
have to go check that out.
John wants to know, are there more sightings in the summer or the winter months?
More sightings of Bigfoot. I would say more in the summertime, just because more people get out. More people get out into the woods during that. There's more footprints that are discovered more in the colder months. But as far as sightings of Bigfoot and Dogman, it's because of the amount of people that go out in the woods, it would be the warmer months.
Yeah. I was reading an article a few months back. They were talking about, with all of the disclosure stuff with the UFOs and everything that was coming out.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking about, why is it that people see these lights in the sky more often in the summer than they do in the winter?
Yeah.
And it was pretty much the same thing, that, well, there's more people outside because the weather's nicer, so they're more apt to be outside longer and later and able to see the stuff that's in the sky, whereas in the wintertime,
Right.
nobody wants to be hanging outside in the winter and just
Now I do have to say though, I have seen more detailed footage of cryptids and aliens and things like that in the wintertime. Photos and videos. They give more detail.
Yeah.
Because you're they're not apt to expect you to be out in the woods. So they're going to make themselves a little more available.
Yeah.
Hey, Medicine Bear Claw Ramona, thanks for coming in. I know you have to go. You said you had a Zoom call, I believe is what I read. So you have a good night.
Yeah, you have a good night, Ramona.
For coming.
Good night, Ramona.
It's good to see you again.
Okay. And as John says, do they hibernate in the winter like bear do?
Do they hibernate? Well,
I don't know.
Yes and no. That would be my opinion. Yes and no. They do tend to sleep more. But as far as like a hibernating like a bear, I'd say no. Um, they do get out in the wintertime. They do uh, go and hunt. They do um, forage. So uh, most bear don't. So I would say it's a yes and no answer. It's kind of a mixture of both.
Hi, Gate Smasher.
That's my opinion.
Okay. Can you scroll up the chat, babe, for a sec? Because Blazer said something funny earlier.
Okay.
Okay, there.
Says Blazer says I was riding a donkey and someone threw a rock and I fell off. So I guess you could say I was stoned. He was stoned
Sorry,
off his
I
butt.
couldn't resist that. I started laughing. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" It says, "Do they have Bigfoot conference? Is it conferences in
Conferences.
Oklahoma City?"
No.
We wish they did.
Yeah, that's something I'm gonna have to look into. But no, they used to have a Bigfoot conference in one of the smaller towns up around Oklahoma City. They used to, but they haven't had one for a while. The only conference that they do have in Oklahoma is around uh, Talamina. They have.
I don't know if they're gonna have it anymore though.
Well, they weren't going to have it because there was a falling out, but they reinstated. It got bought out by someone else, and they decided to start having it again. But I don't know. It's a big mess. But
Well, there's enough of you guys in Oklahoma researching, and I think you guys should all just get together and pick a day.
oh yeah,
That
well,
would.
see, the one thing we did, we just got back from a couple of weeks ago. We got invited down there to take part in a researcher only meet and greet. So
Okay.
we hung out with a bunch of researchers and at the Bigfoot Museum in Talahina. I'm sorry, I keep saying Talahina, Oklahoma. The Bigfoot Museum. It's a little place, but
It was actually interesting.
it's pretty interesting. It's got quite a bit of stuff up to give you some history on researchers, and they got a big Bigfoot doll that was donated to them.
It's not okay, it could be a doll, but it's like a big taxidermied I don't know. It's like 10 feet tall. I don't know. It was crazy.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
See a picture.
What we did was we met with everybody there, and we had a barbecue, and then went and camped out in the woods with a few of them.
Never again? No. Well, that's right. You're not a camper. You're a glamper.
Okay, when he says camping out in the woods, I swear to goodness they bulldozed a spot out in the middle of nowhere and said it was a camp spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a tent camper, so I.
All right.
My idea of camping would be with a camper and not
Stinky says send me a link. So
that's no.
I posted. Yeah, I posted the.
Sorry, I just want to scroll it down. Oh no! What did I do?
You almost exited us out of.
No, I just wanted to see what other people are saying. Sorry, people.
Yeah, the link's posted in the chat, so if anybody wants to come up and say hi, you're more than welcome to.
Okay, you're wiggling the face so fast. Oh my goodness!
But yeah, that's really cool that you guys camped out and did that. See, I think more researchers and local people should just, instead of doing something, well, and especially like here in Wisconsin, I mean, there is stuff going on, but it's all about, it goes back to the money, and I don't want to say like um not just making money, but it's, if everybody would just come together for the research and the experience and not trying to just make money off of these conferences and
Right.
conventions, I think that would really benefit a lot of people.
Right.
Yeah. One researcher we hung out with, Brian Terrell. Yeah, he pretty much sets up all that stuff, as far as the Bigfoot conferences and stuff. Yeah, he's been a big part of that, and he was the first researcher to interview me.
Okay.
And then of course, there was some old timer researchers from back in the day, back in from the '60s,
Okay.
that either took part in the early research, or they were just getting started in that in their early 20s back in the '60s. Yeah, it was pretty interesting to hear the stories from everybody that was there. We didn't see anything that night that we did camp out in the woods. I had my trail cam up. Uh, it all it showed was blackness on it. Picked up sound and everything, but no picture.
Yep, I slept in the car with the doors locked.
Yep, she did.
Not even kidding. Okay, so John wants to know why don't we find Bigfoot droppings or scat? And then Gate Smasher says, I think the forest people dig holes and cover it up. So,
Well, I mean, there are a few people out there that claim that they have found Bigfoot scat, but I mean, the only way you're really gonna prove that it's Bigfoot scat is if you take a video of one. Sorry, but one taking a dump.
ew.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be taking any of that back for testing.
No,
No,
no, no,
Mm-mm.
no, no, no.
no, that to me that's for scientists. I'm not a scientist.
No.
I consider myself an investigator, and I'm not an investigator of feces.
Have you found any hair samples or anything like that?
Yeah, actually, and believe it or not, right outside my house.
Oh.
So,
We want to send it in to see if it's actual.
yeah.
Is it primate hair? Is that what they call it? Or DNA? I don't even know.
Unidentified species.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now. There's a possibility that it's contaminated because we have cows next door, we have cats, we have dogs. The only thing is when you look at it, there's something different about it.
I was gonna say, do you have one of the microscopes to be able to zoom in on the actual hair follicles?
No, I got to get a microscope.
Okay. Because that was one of the things I was gonna say. Rather than sending it in, first step would probably be, I don't know how much it costs to actually have hair
Yeah,
tested.
it's very expensive.
Yeah,
Unless you have connections.
you're probably better off picking up a microscope of some sort. I know when I was talking to Lee out on Bray Road, he actually ended up purchasing one, and he took photos and sent the photos over to a couple of the universities to actually look at the hair and see if they could tell him what it was. And even the photos that I saw were they were, I mean, even from high school biology class, looking at hair follicles through the microscopes,
Right.
you could tell these were not the same.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one thing that I can see just by looking at the hair samples that I picked up.
Uh-huh.
I can see the clear hairs in it. There's visibly all throughout all the hairs. There are some clear hairs in it, where I can see some of the larger follicles of those clear hairs, and there's no center
Mm-hmm.
to those, and that's why I'm like, yep, I gotta keep those. I gotta keep those because even if I don't get it verified, it's still something that I can personally look at, and
Right.
if I ever find anything more definitive in the future, I have something to reference to. So,
Hey, I'm sorry. Luana says there's Jesse. I'm 40 miles from where they're talking.
Oh.
Are you in Oklahoma, Luana? Because that's awesome. Do
Yeah.
they shed like a dog or a cat? John, I don't know.
Well, I do know that they shed. Just I don't know if they shed that much. I mean, you might find a hair here or there, unless they get snagged. They could snag like a big patch of their hair, especially if their hair is all matted up. They can snag off a big matted piece.
You. I mean, I shed like a dog sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, my hair is like really long and
which is basically what I got. The hair samples I got are matted, so that's the reason why it's like a big lump of hair that's all matted together that normally isn't on the ground, because I know my dog's hair. I know their fur, what it looks like. I know what the cat's fur looks like, and I know what cattle fur looks like. So I'm like, it looks different. It's just completely
Well, and
different.
it's more hair than it is fur, right?
Right. Yeah, it's long strands that are all wound up together, and
Yeah.
Luana's in Broken Bow.
Broken Bow.
Yep.
Yeah.
But is it like Beaver's Bend? Is that where I'm thinking? Is that Beaver's Bend kind of area, Luana? Sorry, I'm reading chat.
No. No, I was reading the other comment above that.
Yeah, so was I. I'm like, I'm not even gonna go. No, don't even. No. This one right here.
My brother said you should see my shower.
Ew. No, John.
No, that's okay.
Why did you put it? Oh, I thought you did something else. I thought you put the one that Blazer was talking about. Good thing. No. Around which are being found all over. Okay.
Yeah.
Portals. Yeah.
I'm a little on the fence about portals because I saw something early on in my investigations that could have been like a portal opening, but I'm not absolutely sure. Or it could have been trick of lighting in the camera, but I had like a blue light that shined up above in the center of the picture I was taking. So I snapped the picture, but that blue light doesn't show up in any of my other pictures. And we had just came from an area where we had some suspicious noises and things, and then we walked into that clearing, and then when I took that picture, because I heard the noise off in the distance, took that picture, and it's like almost like a blue star, but white light beams coming out from it. And that's not normal for me to have that in a picture. Plus there was mist around it. So I'm like, yeah. But I'm kind of on the fence because I haven't seen any other in my investigations. I haven't seen any more definitive proof of portals. Although I do consider Bigfoot to be not only a natural being, but with some spiritual significance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my own personal opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agree.
Blazer, I've seen them walk behind a tree and vanish. And my friend saw one turned into a moose.
Oh yeah. No, I do believe that they can shapeshift. I do believe that. Because the experiences I have had in the past, especially when my mom was alive, we had a buffalo that would appear everywhere we went. And like if we drive 20 miles away and the buffalo shows up when we step out of the vehicle at every single place we stop at, that's a pretty fast buffalo.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, that there's something to it.
That's yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was Gary and them. He's pinched a tent down in a boat. I can't even say it. Down where kind of where we were.
Tent picked up and turned.
Oh wow.
Picked up and turned while I was
down
in
Hanovia. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I believe that. I mean, if you've ever been out in the woods, that area down in southeast Oklahoma.
Sorry.
The area down in southeast Oklahoma, those woods, they're like a combination between California woodland and I would have to say Texas woodland. So you've got very tall trees. I mean, it's a little bit different than Arkansas because it's right there on the Arkansas border, but you've got very, very tall trees, and they're not as wide as the California woodland trees, but just as tall. And then the terrain reminds me of a mixture of the two. So it's not desert like, it's very green, unlike the rest of Oklahoma. The rest of Oklahoma is like a rusty red.
Don't be picking on our red dirt. Don't you dare.
Yeah, I grew up where the dirt's all coal black. So
Yeah, so did I. Well, kind of.
So it's unique to me. No. But yeah, when I was little, my brother can attest to this.
Hi, Raymond. Sorry.
Out in the Southern California mountains, that area, even though we were out there for about a year. I never saw anything, never heard anything cryptid wise. Of course, I was only 8, 9, 10, 11.
I don't know.
I guess. So, you know,
camped out you've been camping most of your life. I don't know. Yeah, you've come in contact with a lot of crazy things. And John goes, we had an aunt that made Bigfoot sounds in a tent once, never camped out again. Okay, so John, I figured that, but are you a glamper then? Do you go camping in a RV or a
No,
camper?
he
Or
won't
are
go
you just a
camping.
major city slicker like I kind of am and don't even go outside and camp?
He won't go camping.
Hi, Raymond. I wanted to say hi.
Hey, Raymond, good to see you. But no, I'm the big camper of the family. I'd rather be out in the woods than anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
If it involves trees and mountains, yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, I was just teasing last Friday. I says, is it normal for somebody to always keep their tent and fishing poles in their vehicle at all times? Yeah, that's me too. Just in case the urge strikes, you know?
Well, we actually have not been fishing. Okay, this is really bad. Okay, Harold moved in up here to my house in August. We've talked about going fishing for the last year and a half. We have yet to drop a line anywhere in the state of Oklahoma. He goes, babe, come January 1st, I'm buying a fishing license. I'm like, okay. So we can go fishing. Well, we have a river a mile and a half from my house, of course.
I love fishing more than I do squatching. So, yeah.
See, if he goes fishing, you know he's gonna be taking his pictures of the coastline so he can try to catch whatever's out in the forest. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I got to do that now. Now that I'm into both. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll catch me a mess of fish and say, here you go, Bigfoot.
Oh, man.
Go for it.
You better bring fish home to eat.
See, and they'd probably love that. They wouldn't even have to do anything, just sit there and wait for you to finish.
Right? It's called homeless. Valiant.
Raymond says, I live in Valiant, Oklahoma. If you live there, you're in the woods. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of
I
communities
guess
like
I'm
that.
not even sure where Valiant is. Which part of Oklahoma? Panhandle, southeastern, southwestern, northeastern, central. Where are you at? I guess I've never been to Valiant.
Yeah, it's one place I haven't been yet.
We need to find where you're at, Raymond, so we can hook up. There you go. Come find you. No, just teasing. Not like that, but.
Gate Smasher says, I've bought 3 new fishing reels and poles, lures, a boat, and I still haven't been able to get fishing. Yeah, well, at least you're prepared. I still got to buy the boat.
With all that stuff, I'd be itching to get out there.
Oh, yeah. I'd be pulling my boat next to a little puddle if it rains and be like, I'm going fishing.
Right. Like a little kid. Just, there's no water. I don't care.
Wait until spring, then we can have Lake Milam outside in our front yard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my goodness. Anyway.
Yeah.
It floods.
Well, okay, where my trailer house is sitting, they don't have enough gravel. And so when it rains, it's like it totally floods my front yard.
Oh.
So we actually need more gravel in my, one day. Idabel.
Idabel.
Okay. Okay. Taking my trusty map. Here we go.
Yeah, so just tell us a little about yourself, like what got you started in the paranormal.
Yeah, like I was saying, I pretty much have had paranormal experiences my entire life growing up. Then kind of fell into the cryptid side of things, but paranormal I've had, not to go too much into detail about it, but I've had things growing up in the house that I lived in, strange occurrences and things that had happened. I've had things touch me. I've had things talk to me. I've had experiences where I could walk into buildings and just have that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
There's been times where we've, gone on vacation with, like, my parents used to take us camping a lot, or either camping, or we would go to hotels and visit different places, and I could walk into a building and I would just get that chill down my neck, down my back, and the cold shivers, the hair would stand up, and I'd even say to my mom, like, there's something here. And she'd just go, okay, honey. Okay, dear.
Did your mom ever understand, or was she like, are you kind of woo or whatever? I'm curious.
She always had an open mind, I think, about it. I think in the back of her mind, because she always said, that she always felt that there were things that we didn't know answers to.
Correct.
And so she always had that open mind. But when my grandmother passed away, she had a very, very difficult time dealing with the death of her mother. And she came to me sometime after my grandmother had passed away, and she says, I have to tell you, Grandma actually visited me while I was sleeping. And she said that she was in that stage where she was awake and asleep kind of thing.
Yep.
But she remembers my grandmother coming up to her at her bedside and actually talking to her and saying, I don't want you upset or sad, and that she was happy and no longer in pain, and she would see her when the time comes.
That's cool.
And so after that, my mom was just like,
yep,
I believe it.
Gets it now. Yep.
Yep.
That's actually kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like I started seeing things when I was 6. I was exposed to demons in my grandparents' attic, and my mom had seen those same ones when she first married my dad, and then my aunt Gladys, I believe, she said that they were in that attic too when she was little. So these things bothered me, and they would do bodily harm to me, like slamming my feet on the end of the bed nightly, things like that. So I got exposed to that, and then my grandparents figured out that something was bothering me, because they knew about those things being around the property. So they started taking me to their meetings, and then I didn't get bothered for a long time, for quite a few years. I wouldn't say I got bothered again, because what it was is it opened my mind to my surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
So I started seeing things, like, not like being crazy and, but seeing apparitions, seeing ghosts, seeing spirits, things like that. They would actually come to me, like I'm sitting watching my TV in the middle of the night, and something walks into the kitchen and stands there in the kitchen staring at me like I'm supposed to do something, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Had a ghost I don't know if it was a ghost or a spirit, but I guess it was residual, because it would happen a lot. But the old man that used to live in the house that I was living in with my parents, he would just about every night, he'd go into the kitchen. His spirit form would go into the kitchen and make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Did he clean up after himself, or no? That's why you knew he was.
Oh yeah, he would clean up after himself. He'd make the sandwich, and then he'd turn towards me, look at me, and turn around and walk right through the wall.
Yeah.
Back out to the garage.
I wish spirits would come do my dishes for me.
I was just thinking, I've actually seen a video where they had pulled out their camera, and they said, you're not going to believe this. And they walk into their living room, and something was vacuuming their living room. And I'm going, how do I sign up for that?
No, I
That's what I want.
know. I
Come home
know.
and who needs a somebody to
I,
housewife or house husband when you can have
I
a house
mean,
ghost like that that's cleaning.
come on. I want. Yeah. Okay, so no, I'm not changing the subject. My kids asked me what I wanted for Christmas, right? I said a clean house and not to cook.
Yeah.
Don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, like my brother says, our grandparents' house was built before the Civil War. It was actually built in a place called Eastchester before the war, and then when my grandpa bought the place, he moved it to Westchester. And there was a story that there was a Civil War. There was a rebel soldier that was um, he had bunkered in the attic of that house to hide from the Union soldiers, and he knew he wasn't gonna escape, so he offed himself in the attic. So, yeah, the history of that place is kind of eerie. But and my grandma kept a chest that was up there. I guess it was the soldier's chest that he kept his personal items in, and she had it up there until the day she passed. But she would be the only one that would get into it. She'd be the only one that would open it. And it's always cold and eerie around that chest up in that attic too.
I was gonna say, is that chest still in that attic or?
No,
Okay.
no, it got removed, and I believe it got burnt. Family members, I guess they burn it. But,
yeah.
Your house was haunted, the one that you lived in, Lawton.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean,
every
there
house
was a
that I
spirit
lived in
or
pretty much
whatever.
is haunted.
My house has spirits in it.
I laugh now because thinking back at the history and the stuff that I've gone through, especially with my mom, I think she unknowingly is gravitated towards like the paranormal side of things because the house that they bought when I moved into when I was 5 had something there.
Okay.
Which tormented me, but they also then bought a summer property in Adams Friendship, and I remember the first time I got there and I went, "Gee, Mom, what happened to the guy that owned this place?" She's like, "Oh, well, he died. He died of emphysema." And I said, "Oh, okay." And she's like, "Why?" I said, "Well, nothing." And I kind of just let it go. And she'd walk through and she'd be like, "Do you smell that? It smells like cigarette smoke." And I'm like, "Yep." She's like, "Are you smoking again?" "Nope." "Do you smell that? It smells like cigarette smoke." I'm like, "Yep." "Sure does." And I could tell you could hear like footsteps walking back and forth at night. And I I I said, "Yeah, whenever you smell the cigarette smoke, you would hear the footsteps." And
Yep.
Yeah.
And then she ended up taking me and my daughter for a girls' weekend to St. Augustine. And she was all excited. She's like, "I gotta tell you, I booked the hotel and I got a really good deal." And I said, "Oh, that's great, Mom. Where are we staying?" And she told me the name of it. So whatever you do not tell Danny where we're staying. And she's like, "Why?" I said, "Mom, look that hotel up under St. Augustine. It comes up as the number 2 haunted place right underneath the St. Augustine Lighthouse."
Oh my goodness. Wow.
So the hotel that we were actually staying at was the one that is known for having, she was the owner of, it was like a brothel bar kind of thing.
Yeah.
So during, when the British soldiers were coming in and trying to do, I don't know the whole story of it, but I'd have to look it back up. But
That's all right.
she would basically stand in the top tower of the hotel and flash the lights to let the ships out in the bay know when it was clear of the British troops. and they would bring in the alcohol, and then they would leave. And so she kind of ran the town, but they
That's
say
cool.
that her spirit still haunts the hotel, but there are several rooms in that hotel that are really strange. But yeah, it's like number 2 of the most haunted in
When
St.
you-
Augustine.
When you stayed there, did you have any encounters or whatever? Do you remember or whatever?
Yeah, we didn't have any encounters at that time because we were actually staying on the other side, the other wing of the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
But we could look right out and see the rooms. So sure enough, we pulled right up and we were walking down one of the streets and came around the corner to our hotel room. And I said, "See that room right there?" She's like, "Yeah." I said, "See that room right there?" She says, "Yeah." I said, "Those are the 2 that are the worst in the hotel. You could look them up on almost any YouTube channel and they will show you."
Fun.
Really? She's grabbing her phone. Really?
Oh my goodness. That's awesome. Raymond, it's good to meet you too. That's awesome. We're glad you're here.
We're glad you're here.
So yeah, she cracks me up though.
Anybody else want to hop up here and chat with us live? You're more than welcome to click on the link. Join us up here.
It's already 9:30. Where the
Yeah.
heck did that time go? I can't believe it.
Yeah,
It's
got-
funny.
About 29 minutes left in the show.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. The most haunted place that I've ever stayed, besides my grandparents, I would have to say, I went down to not Ardmore, but Abilene. Yeah, Abilene, Texas. There was actually a Comfort Inn in Abilene, Texas. I went there for a karaoke contest, and the rooms didn't feel haunted, but the hallways, there's something about them just made me feel uneasy when I went into the hallways, and then the office. Like, I haven't looked into it. I need to look into if something had happened in the office area, because it's just, I had that same feeling that I would have when I was staying at my grandparents, and those things would show up. So, yeah. But I haven't had the opportunity to do a whole lot of paranormal investigating outside of, I have seen apparitions in the woods when I was about 18 years old. We were staying in a KOA camp, me and my parents and my little brother, and me and my little brother were hanging out on the hood of the car, and we were camping. This KOA camp is right next to a Civil War cemetery, right? So it was battlegrounds up near Fayetteville, Arkansas, and we're laying there talking, and then all of a sudden, my brother goes, "Did you hear that?" I'm like, so I listened closer, and it sounded like a lady laughing, right? And it got louder and louder, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, it says my nickname. I'm like, it says Bud, and I'm like, look at my brother. Did it just say my name? He's like, yeah. And then we're listening some more, and it's laughing, right? And then it says my name even louder, and it keeps repeating it. And my little brother's like, "Oh no, I'm done. I'm done." I'm like, I'm gonna hear some more, I want to go out there. I want to go see.
No.
I'm like, yeah. Good thing I didn't.
Yeah, you might be surprised what you actually find then.
Yeah. Yeah, and then later that night we heard the footsteps of it sounded like marching soldiers.
Okay.
We heard gunshots, like it was the single shot rifles going off, and then men screaming. So yeah, that was pretty spooky.
Oh.
Yeah, I want to go back there. I want to go back there, and I want to go into that cemetery. But yeah,
You know, one of the places that I visited, and I wish I would have had an opportunity to stay there a little bit longer. I actually took a business trip to Gettysburg,
Oh, wow.
and we were so back to back with meetings and training and all the other stuff that we had to do that by the time they let us out at night to do anything, everything was closed. And it was because it was during the winter too. And it was like one of those missed opportunities. I would love, not only just for the history of Gettysburg, but you could feel just walking through the streets, it just had this heavy, I don't even know how to explain it unless, of course, you've had that feeling. It just had this heavy feeling of just sad
yeah,
everything to it. And it was just eerily quiet, even though there would be people walking around. It was almost like all the noise was just muffled and quiet, even
yeah.
though there's people walking around and, cars and stuff driving through it. Yeah, but that's one place I would really love to go back out to
It's
Oh, yeah.
kind of like the feeling at the Oklahoma City bombing memorial. Kind of like the same.
Mhm.
If you walk the grounds where the chairs are, it's
Okay.
just a calm, but you can hear the noise on the street because it's not that far from downtown Oklahoma City, but it's just you can feel it. You can
Yeah.
feel I don't even know how to explain it, but I'm sure you know exactly
Yeah.
how. But it's fascinating and weird at the same time.
Yeah.
You can feel the sadness because all these people passed away unexpectedly from this tragic thing.
Hmm.
And then you feel sad, but you can also feel them. You can feel the presence of them.
Yeah.
It's so weird, and it's cool, but so weird. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it. It's like unless somebody's actually felt that and experienced it, it's really hard to explain how that feeling really is
Yeah.
through words.
Yeah, like
It really is an emotional feeling.
It is. It really is.
like
Yeah.
visiting a graveyard and you feel somebody tap you on the shoulder, and there's nobody there.
Like my mom did.
Yep. Yeah, we were visiting her mom's grave, and I had a feeling that we were being watched. So I turned around and I got a feeling from a certain area, and I turned towards that area and I said, "Okay, if there's anybody watching right now, you're not allowed to come over here because we're visiting with her mother. So give us the respect, give us some space."
Mhm.
Next thing I know, well, after I turned and I said, because I felt something near, so I reached out my hand and I said, "If there's anybody here, reach out and shake my hand." And I actually felt something grab my hand and start shaking it. So I was like, "Okay, now you need to leave." Well, I turn around and we're talking, to her mother, and I feel a tap on my shoulder, and then I felt a head go and lean against my shoulder.
Kind of like this.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
But it wasn't me.
right.
Wow.
So I'm like, I think she's here.
I don't want to interrupt you. Good night, Sharon. Love you, hon. We'll catch you later. Still prayers for your granddaughter, hon.
Yes. Good night,
Good night,
Sharon.
Sharon.
Prayers. Yeah, that was an amazing experience. That one was.
Well, that one was better than one of the times I actually had something touch me. But that was in my basement when I was trying to pull laundry out of my dryer for the next day for school, and something actually touched my leg and I think I was like 12 or something, and it actually messed with my pajamas and my nightgown and my leg, and
Oh wow. Yeah, that's creepy when they.
LIP in the house.
Oh, Long Island Bigfoot.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Sorry. Did they like do anything like really mean, like scratch you or anything on the chest, or it was just a tug, or what?
well, that particular time, it was like it I even hate it's like so I felt so gross. It was like perverted. It like here I am 12, I'm in my nightgown, and it actually like drug its finger up my leg and raised my nightgown.
Ew. Okay.
And
Bad spirit.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I freaked out, and it was so cold. I thought for a split second, I thought maybe the dog had followed me downstairs and had come up behind me, and dogs.
Mhm.
So I kind of swung my hand around to, knock the dog away, and my hand went right through air. There was nothing there,
Wow.
and grabbed my laundry basket and I went upstairs.
Yeah.
So, but that whole side of the house that had weird, crazy, creepy stuff that happened, all the time to me.
Couldn't imagine that, but I mean, the creepy feeling is an old house, as I could imagine. That what
Right.
your experience? Yeah, no, I'd be freaking out, never going downstairs to do my laundry again.
Well, and what was I don't know how I did it, but after I got back from the military, my bedroom ended up moving downstairs into the basement, but I was on the other side of the house.
Oh my goodness.
And there would be times at night where I'd be laying in bed, and I had like one of those partition walls that kind of split the basement in half. And there would be times where my cat would sit there and like, cats don't really growl, but they kind of growl.
Mhm.
And she would sit there and kind of growl and face that side of the basement.
Yeah.
And I would hear the doors in the basement, like, because they were just like those sliding wooden the bifold doors. And I would hear it like almost like it was being shut or open.
Wow.
And I'd look around the corner, and either it would be cracked open, and I would think, okay, it was just the cat. Trying to like,
The cat.
rationalize it.
Yeah. I understand that.
But yeah, that there were weird things that happened after I even moved into the basement. So I think I only lived in the basement probably after that, maybe less than a year.
I would be like 2 seconds. I'm like, no, Mom, you have to find me a different room. Yeah, I'm not living in the basement. No.
I got to take back what I said earlier. The most haunted place that I've ever been in. I used to work on base on Fort Sill here in southwest Oklahoma. I was a supervisor of housekeeping. Well, there's a place called the Comanche House, and it's where all the officers stay and their families when they're visiting. Even 2 presidents have stayed there. Obama and what was the other one?
I don't know.
Oh, it was Obama and Reagan, I believe.
Okay.
But I would go down in the basement to get supplies when I had to go clean the rooms there. And somebody that works there was telling me, oh yeah, that the basement's haunted. Even the upstairs is haunted. There's certain ghosts that go in certain rooms. So I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to go in the basement. Well, one day I'm cleaning around the entrance to the basement, the stairwell, and the door swings open. Right. And I look down the stairwell and I can hear a little a little kid laughing. So I walk halfway down the stairs because it kind of winds in a circle. I walk halfway down the stairs so I can see the bottom, and that little boy's standing right there at the bottom of the stairs staring at me, and then he smiles and laughs and then takes off running. All right. So I go down there and I'm looking around, and I keep seeing this boy run from room to room to room to room. And finally I stop in the middle. There's this old pool table, right? There's no balls for the pool table. There's no pool sticks. But when you're down there, you can hear somebody playing pool. Okay. So I'm standing there right next to the pool table, and the little boy's laughing, and he's way down at the very end. So I'm like, oh, so you want to play hide and seek? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to count to 30. So I stand in the corner and I'm counting to 30. I hear the little feet shuffling, running from room to room. So I go looking in each room. There's probably about 30 rooms in this basement, right? And I'm going from room to room, and I'm like, I'm coming to find you. And I keep hearing, every time I say that, I hear him laugh, right? So I know where he's hiding. He's hiding in this one room at the other end, but I'm making a game out of it. So I go through all these rooms one by one, and then when I get down to the very last room, I hear him giggling behind the door. The door's closed in this room, the only room where the door is always closed. They keep it closed for a reason, I found out. But I go and I open the door, and I'm in there. I'm standing in the middle of the room, and the door slams behind me. When the door slammed behind me, I heard something evil. It's like, you know, and I'm like, no, you're not trapping me in here. No. I said, I'm here with the boy, not with you. Right? I'm looking for the boy. I'm not looking for you. I said, so open that door and let me out. So the door swings open, and I go back outside, and the little boy's running down the hallway, and he goes into the washroom. He goes into the washroom. So I kind of walk real fast down there, and I turn, and there's jumping jacks on the floor.
Jumping jacks?
But
You
there's
mean
no
jacks?
Yeah, there's not jumping. There's jacks on the floor.
I
And
knew what he meant.
but there's no ball.
I figured so.
There's no ball on the floor. So I'm like, aha. I said, I know what you want from me. I said, I'm gonna bring you a ball tomorrow. So the next day I come there, and first thing I do is I go down the stairs with a little red ball. And I go halfway down the stairs, and then I stop, and I said, I brought you your ball. So I let it bounce down the steps, right? As soon as it reaches the bottom step, it stops. And then it bounces back up the stairs.
Yeah.
But then I throw it back down, and it went around the corner. And when I went back down the stairs to see where it went, it was gone. Right. So I'm like, okay, I got to get to work. I'm doing my stuff down there, getting laundry done and everything for the rooms. And then I'm like, okay, I'm done doing my work. You want to bring the ball back out so we can play. As soon as I said that, the ball comes rolling down the hallway towards me, all the way down the hallway. So I'm sitting there, I'm standing there, and I'm rolling that ball back and forth with this spirit, this little boy, because every single time it reaches down there, it goes around the corner, and then it rolls from back around the corner all the way down. And every single time that happens, he's laughing. Right. But the scary thing, though, was when I would go to leave every day. The windows down there to each room had a window with white curtains that were closed, right? So when you go to leave and you all of a sudden you see the curtains go like so to keep my fellow housekeepers from freaking out, I'd be like, oh look, they're saying bye, so wave and say bye. So I got them to doing that, and it kind of they said that me doing that kind of helped them deal with it, because they were scared to go in there, because there was only 3 people that worked at the whole place that would go in there,
Yeah.
because they all knew. There was ones that only went in there one time, and they left as soon as they went in. They're like, oh nope, I ain't working here.
I think that has a lot to do with, I mean, whether it's the paranormal or the cryptid or whatever it might be that people are experiencing. I think a lot of times, because people don't know how to react to those things,
Right.
bringing awareness to people that wouldn't normally even know or believe until they finally experience it, to have somebody like you say, it's okay, just wave by. I was talking to somebody at work yesterday or today. I can't remember. My days run together. That lack of sleep thing. But they're like, oh, so what do you do on the weekends? And I kind of explained it, and really, you don't ever catch anything, do you? Kind of explained why I investigate where I investigate, and oh, okay. It's just, whether you believe it or not, the next time you're out in the woods, something strange happens. Just remember, very well could possibly be a spirit or a cryptid.
Right.
Just relax.
Mhm.
But bringing awareness, I think, is really important.
Yeah, because for the most part, the experiences I had, paranormal wise, if I hadn't been introduced to it at such an early age, it would have freaked me out.
Yeah.
About every other time that it happened. But I'm like, come to expect the good and the bad when you're in situations. It's just I've had so much of both happen that it's like I'm kind of okay.
Yeah.
What next?
Well, that's, again, yeah, because I've dealt with that paranormal from an early age too. So now going into looking for cryptids and investigating that, I was saying that when I have this horrible habit, if you guys ever watch my lives on Friday nights, I have this horrible habit of running my battery down, and Luana will tell you.
Oh yeah.
I run my battery down to the point where I usually just make it to the car before my battery dies and my life goes out. And everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, where is she? Is she okay?"
Yeah.
But the one night I was walking out, and I cut the live early because in case I didn't make it back to the car, I wanted to be able to have a phone battery. And and after I shut my phone off, it wasn't not just a few seconds later, I'm walking out and I'm being paralleled.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't catch anything all night. And I stopped, and it stopped, and I started walking again, and it started following me again. And I stopped, and I turned, and I'm like, that figures.
Mm-hmm.
I shut the phone off, and now you want to make your presence known.
Yeah.
The least you could do is at least direct me to the way out of here. And I'm like, great. Now if they ever do show up around, they're going to be like, yeah, don't bother her. She's sassy.
Right. Kind of have to be sassy when we're doing things like this.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
Well, we've had experiences where we're out and our equipment stops, it just quits working.
Yeah.
No, at full batteries and everything, and just
Especially my
digital camera.
camera.
It just quits.
Yeah.
It won't take pictures, won't nothing. It won't zoom.
I'll
nothing.
take probably 150 pictures, and I've still got a lot of battery left and a lot of space left, and it just quits.
Yep.
It just won't take any more pictures. But that's usually when I start getting things to happen, is then all of a sudden that camera stops. And then I start getting the noises, the sounds, the voices, the tree knocks, all that.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
It's just like your game cam.
Mm-hmm.
It's did that before too.
Oh, yeah.
Brand new batteries.
Yeah.
Brand new batteries. Put it out on anywhere out in the backyard and put it on the post or whatever.
Yep.
It'll quit. Yeah. That's crazy.
The last time I put the trail cam back there, we have this cat named Morris, and he likes to hang out back there, right? Well, he was hanging out. The footage I looked at, he was hanging out right underneath the trail cam that I had set up, and he was eating something, but the food that I had set out there was still where I set it. And he was eating something off the ground, and then there was something standing right next to the camera going, and I'm like, is it going to show itself on camera the whole time? And nope.
Nope.
No.
Nope. Just
All you saw was
just the cat.
Morris's tail.
Oh,
Mhm.
wow.
But there was a sound of somebody at camera level, because I had it up about 6.5 feet. So at camera level, there was somebody or something eating something and having its mouth next to the camera.
Wow.
You hear it chomping. Because it was different than the cat, because you could hear the cat's chomping.
Yeah.
Much lighter, than this thing that was up by the camera. It was like, dang.
Wow.
Luana says she likes scaring the crap out of me. I'm assuming that she's referring to you, Jess.
Yeah. Yeah, I always get the message when I get back. Are you alive?
Well, at least that's a good thing. They're checking on you. Jess, hello. Are you? Don't do this to us. Yeah, I'll probably be the same way. Don't scare us, Jess. Don't scare us. Let us know
Yeah.
you're okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have to start tuning into your channel
Most
more
definitely.
often. I've been in there one time, because when I started watching Abnormal Investigations, yeah, I went and checked out your channel one
Oh.
time, but I haven't really had the time to go looking into hardly anybody else's. Like, I used to go into Long Island Bigfoots all the time, and I really like his lives, and I ain't been able to go in and see his. So
He
Yeah.
just has to get his act together, you guys.
Yeah.
I totally get it though, between and I've tried to maintain doing these lives every Friday, no matter what. So it's rain, sleet, snow. Like I'm expecting snow on Friday, which I'm kind of interested to see. Sometimes I've heard that with snowstorms coming in, sometimes you can find actual tracks because they are more likely to
Yeah.
use the snowfall to cover up any tracks that they would leave.
Right.
So gonna kind of test that theory this Friday. But like I said, I've done some research on Bray Road, and I've been doing other research, and I have all these like stories in the pipeline, things that I want to work on.
Yeah,
But-
we'll definitely
But
have to
actually,
tune in for
yeah, doing it is it's a different thing. It's hard.
that.
What
Yeah.
time are you gonna go live, Jess?
I usually go on around 9:00 p.m., which you guys are Central, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yep. So 9 p.m. Central.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, we'll check that out.
Cool.
But for now, I gotta end the show. It's
Okay.
It's medicine time, as they say.
yeah, it's medicine time.
All right. Well, thanks for letting me share time with you guys tonight.
Thanks for coming on,
Yeah,
Jess.
thanks
It's
for
so
coming
good to
on.
actually get to meet you.
Yeah. You too.
Yeah. See you, and you just have a good night. And
You too.
thank you so much for coming on.
All right.
Yeah,
Thanks.
We'll see you Friday.
Yep. All right. Bye,
All right.
everyone.
All right. Bye. Yeah, I'd like to thank C for popping in here. Y'all remember Mogs and Stevie B Mogollon Monster WTF will be back Tuesday, December 16th at 8 p.m. Central.
No, well, Central Time. It's Eastern Time, 9 p.m.
Right.
Eastern Standard
Right.
Time.
But yeah, they start at 8 p.m. Central. So we will see you guys this coming Thursday. We will be on at 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern. We'll be doing one more show to fill in for those guys. And then Wednesday
The 18th.
Wednesday the 18th, we will be starting our own show on a weekly basis. It'll be every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central. And we'll cover a lot of bases. We'll cover mostly cryptid stuff, but we like talking with y'all about whatever comes to mind, because we like having y'all feel comfortable. We like having y'all just hanging out and y'all speaking to each other in the chat. We'd really like if y'all came up into the studio. I never thought I would like doing it, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun getting to see people face to face. Those of y'all that are new here, I thank you for showing up. I thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you Thursday. But for now, we gotta call it a night. So see you Thursday at 8. And remember,
Keep squatching.
Yeah. Love y'all. Have a good night.
Bye.
Early music fills the